Hey friends, welcome back to the Guitar Max channel. So two big myths about Harley Benton, and one in particular that I'm really sick of. Okay, so you guys probably know by now that Harley Benton from Thomann, it's a German company, right? Harley Benton is like their in-house brand of guitars and pedals and effects and so forth. They make a ton of different cool guitars, and I have my signature guitar with them. I have the Harley Benton Guitar Max Fusion. In fact, I've got one right here, and I absolutely love this guitar, and of course I do, it's my signature guitar. But there's one big myth about this guitar that I am really sick of hearing, and that is, of course, that this is made in China, okay? It's not made in China. Now, first of all, I want to say there are some incredibly good guitars that are made in China, but this one is not made in China. In fact, I'll give you a close-up. It says right on the back of the headstock here, made in Indonesia. Formerly known as the Dutch East Indies, but now it's, of course, Indonesia. And there are a lot of awesome guitars that are made in Indonesia. Not just the Harley Benton guitars, but also, would you believe that the Jackson Pro Series is made in Indonesia? And those are $1,000 guitars. I mean, those are like the main Jackson guitars before you get into the way more expensive Japanese or USA-made Jackson. Also, a lot of the Schecter guitars are made in Indonesia, like the C1 Exotic, just as a random example. Most of the production Schecter guitars are made in either Indonesia or South Korea. So I get comments like this a lot, where it's something along the lines of, Max, you're just shilling for the communists with your Chinese-made signature guitar. And you know, honestly, even though I'm making this video, not everybody's going to see it, and so those comments, I'm sure, are still going to pop up every once in a while. But the thing is, you can go on the Thomann website or the Harley Benton website and look at the pictures of the guitars on there. Most of the time, they'll have pictures of the back of the headstock, and it says right on there where the guitar was manufactured. Now, I'll tell you right now, there are a few guitars sold by Harley Benton that are made in China, but this is like their rock series guitars, basically their least expensive guitars. Some of those are made in China, and again, you can see which ones are made in China because you just look at the pictures and it says right there. But my signature guitar and the Fusion series, and certainly all of the guitars that have like the roasted necks and things like that, those are all Indonesian made. So what I'm getting at is that if whether or not the guitars are made in China is something that is an important, deciding factor to you, just go on the website, you can look at the pictures, and you can figure out whether or not it's made in China. But I think all of the really popular stuff is not. Okay, now the other myth about Harley Benton is the name. Who is this mythical person, Harley Benton? Well, there's nobody named Harley Benton. It's not a person. There's no Herr Benton over there in Germany. It's just a name like Michael Kelly Guitars or something like that. It's just a name that, people came up with for marketing purposes because it's kind of sounded cool. I think Harley, maybe it's associated with Harley Davidson or something. I have heard many people say things like, oh, that guy Harley Benton over there in Germany who just orders all those Chinese guitars, he's basically running a scam. Well, that's not the situation. But I was thinking maybe I should change my name to Harley Benton. I could do that. And then it'd be like Harley Max? No, Benton Max, Harley Benton Max. That works. Honestly, it's giving me a headache just thinking about it. I think the problem is I need more vitamins. I think I'll take some of the Yngwie Malmsteen's Force multivitamin. That'll help me feel much better. Let's see here. 2 gummies. Right here. This is delicious. And wow, just 2 of these has 50% of my daily intake of folate. Link in the video description below. Okay, guys, that's actually it. That's all I have to say for this video. This is just something that's been coming up again and again in the comments section. I think people, sometimes they hear this stuff and they continue to repeat it without actually researching it. That's actually extremely common these days. But yeah, I hope that kind of cleared up some things for people who maybe were concerned with getting a Harley Benton guitar because for political reasons or whatever, they don't want to buy something that is manufactured in China. But hey, you don't have to worry about it. They're not made in China, except a few models. And like I said, you can just figure that out by looking at the website. Also, guys, there's a documentary that just came out about Thomann. So if you want to know the truth about Thomann and Harley Benton and everything that's been going on with that, the history of the company and so forth, check out that documentary. It's not very long, but it's jam-packed and it's really pretty fascinating. It's the biggest musical instrument company in the world, and how did it get that big? All that stuff is in the documentary, and I'll have a link to that in the video description below. Okay guys, thanks a ton for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you soon.